Good morning and happy new year. My eye's twitching for the new year. Yay. Super exciting.
Your eye is excited about 2025.
It's so exciting.
Raring to go.
It's there.
Okay, well, happy new year, everybody. We're ready to kick 2025 off. Right, ladies?
As ready as we'll ever be.
They're like, sure.
Yeah, Sam.
Well, it's almost our 1 year friendiversary.
What?
I love that.
Christy, do you remember how I just like awkwardly approached you in the middle of the lobby and I was like, "Hi, this is a weird question," which was like perfect intro. Are you Christy? And you were like, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
And
I do remember that, and it was perfect.
I mean, I feel like it gave you a window into my personality, like very, very quickly.
Clearly, I loved it. I'm still here.
Well, here you are, and here I am. So we love friendiversaries.
Yeah, well, then I was frolicking around, and I offered to video Christy frolicking around, and she said no.
I said, no, thank you.
I said, don't video my frolic. Don't
Yeah.
video it.
Well, I would be so happy to take your pictures. That's exactly what happened.
She frolics now, so.
That's true. That is true.
We do all frolic. Also, I was like looking at videos of us last night because I needed something. And it just, every single one I looked at like made me laugh because we all just like pop out of corners and then we don't realize we're in the other people's videos. And we're like, we'll shrink back. But then we all end up like giggling and it's fantastic.
That one where Christy's like.
Christy like pops up over my shoulder while I'm like consuming a cookie. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you were filming.
Which it was perfect. Again.
It was very funny.
Christy being here is like, and by here, I mean, this is where she showed up in the video and it was perfect.
Okay. Focus, ladies. Focus, ladies. Let's talk about this new offer that we have that goes live tomorrow.
That dropped like 12 minutes after our last live.
I know. We were literally like working on stuff and it came up on my iPad. We were still sitting here live and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we were like, well, we wish we could have talked about that today, but here we are.
That's okay.
So Sam, do you want to share the details of this new spectacular offer with us?
Yes, I do. I'm popping them up on my computer just here. Okay, so we ran a poll also, by the way, in the stories where I asked how we were all feeling about the new offer. And a majority of us were very, very excited about it and had already shared. And then there were a few people that were excited, but they were not clear on their marketing strategy just yet. So I figured today we could talk about some actionable tips that we could use to market this dining plan. So first, let's look over the details. And I think this is really important if you're going to offer this to your clients. You need to understand the offer yourself.
Not only that, you also need to remember that for Disney, if you're going to be talking about it in your marketing, you need to use their approved copy. You can like add to that, but if you're going to be talking about it, you need to have a section that is straight Disney approved copy, which you can copy and paste from the DTA website into your content. But Disney is a big stickler. I would be too if I had an organization that large about you using their approved copy. So make sure you're pulling that and using that when you talk about the offer.
Yes. And on that note, if you're using the little marketing pack that they offer you on DTA, you can't change anything of the photo. You cannot add your logo. You cannot crop it.
You can't put a filter over it. You can't put it in a frame. Like it has to be the straight photo from them.
Exactly. And then you have to add the copy that they provide for that photo. But as MK was saying, you can add your own little blurb. You just can't take anything away. I don't like to use the Disney marketing materials on my page at all because you may have noticed a few days ago when it dropped, when you're scrolling through your feed, you probably saw this graphic like 100 times because everybody will use it. And to me, it looks like I'm coming across the Disney parks pages. It doesn't say travel agent. It doesn't give me any value when we use these graphics because we're not putting our personality on it because we're not allowed to. You know, we can't change the photos, and that's what visually people are seeing. And I think to me, it would be confusing for a potential client scrolling through, seeing this graphic. Now, of course, they're not going to see it 100 times because they're probably not friends with, following, or the algorithm's not giving them all of this Disney parks things and things related to Disney parks. So are they going to see it as many times as you are? No, probably not. But at the same time, it's not going to register that, oh, this is a travel agent or a travel agency that can help me plan my trip. It just looks like a Disney World graphic. What do y'all think about that?
I would agree. And I think too, in a video heavy world where like video is what people are drawn to, a singular static post that people have already seen 50 times, it's not going to stop their scroll at all. So they're not going to get any, it's not, the offer is just the offer. What you can do to sell beyond that is really like, again, we're not selling trips, we're selling our services. So like when you think about that, like how do you help clients with this specific offer? And how can you highlight that in your captions, but also like make a reel of 50 things that you've loved eating at Disney. Maybe not 50 because that's a bit excessive.
That's a long reel.
Right, right. But like, unless you do like the 0.1 second flip throughs, but just like there are different ways to market this other than like a standard approved picture with approved copy and like calling it a day. That and two, like, is that the type of, or is that what you want your clients to think you do, is like the bare minimum to get by?
I gotta give a shout out to my friend Kashana. She's watching the live. She commented, "Hey, girly." Yes, exactly.
I do think though, if you are overwhelmed and you are in the land of like just too much going on and marketing plans are not your thing and you're working on it, I think it's okay to use the approved copy and the approved picture to get it out there. But like MK and Sam were both saying, like, add something about your service to the caption. You can add, just don't subtract anything they have. Make sure you add something with your personality, something like that. That's easier sometimes for people than doing a whole new graphic. So if you have to use it, it's okay. It's not ideal, but it's okay.
That's a really great point, Christy.
Yeah. I think bringing up that, like, there are times when you're overwhelmed and it's just like, get it out there. But also with that, like, you can talk about it in your stories or like on a live too. And sometimes that can be a little easier than like feeling like you have to have this super official post that goes out too.
True. The Real Brits of Florida say Happy New Year over on Facebook. So Happy New Year to you as well.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Okay, so let's talk about the details a little bit, and maybe that could spark a little bit of an idea. So there is a limited time that you can book this offer. It's pretty short. It's only like a month and a week that we have to book this, which gives urgency, which might be good to get the ball rolling for people to get their trips, the deposits paid. And then the kind of minimum details is that the room is non-discounted and it is a 3-night, 3-day at minimum. Now, sometimes when we see offers, they'll say save 15% on 5 nights or whatever. And then you look into like the little fine print and there's actually no minimum nights. It's just the kind of like catchy headline. This one, there is certainly a minimum. It is 3 nights. You also have to have a ticket with a park hopper option. So at minimum, you have to have a resort stay, 3-night minimum with a park hopper ticket. I don't think that there is I don't think you have to have a 3 park hopper ticket. I think you could just have a 2. And then
I thought it said a 3-day ticket.
It just says a Disney Resort hotel and a ticket with a park hopper option. So you could play around with it, but it doesn't say that straight up you have to have a 3-day park hopper. I could be wrong though. So it says the offer is available for most arrivals beginning May 27th through June 26th. So a month right there. And then July 7th through August 6th. So another month. So that's pretty specific time periods also. And they're going to give us the full details tomorrow.
Now, this is also, I know it says non-discounted in there, but also remember that any guest that arrives at Disney World today through December 31st of 2025 also gets water park access on their check-in day. So with this being an offer that is specifically during those hot summer months, you could really talk about both of these and how like the water park gives you a chance to cool off. A dining plan would allow you to, especially if they're deluxe or deluxe villa resorts, that those table service credits would allow you to get in out of the heat once a day. And then those extended evening hours for deluxe and deluxe villa resort guests as well would be another helpful thing that you could potentially talk about.
Yes.
Dining plan.
And knowing which kind of resort stay is going to give you which dining plan, you also need to know, which they have a little graphic for you. And basically it tells you that a value and moderate resort is going to give you the quick service dining plan. And then the deluxe and deluxe villas are going to give you the Disney dining plan, which is like the table service dining plan. And you can find that in your DTA when you go to like the news section and you hit the dining offer. If you scroll down, there's a little link. Click on it and it shows you the graphic. I would show it to you, but it also says that it's like you can only see it if you're a travel agent. So I don't want to get in trouble. So get on your DTA and look at it there because it shows you some other things that are going to be important to know. Maybe some other offers. So let's talk about tips for marketing this dining offer. So I did a blog. I was just thinking about this. I had done a blog earlier in the year, and it's not a free dining plan blog, obviously, because we didn't have that. But I called it Turning Disney into an All-Inclusive, sort of. So if you go, I'll link that blog if you want to look at it. But it basically talks about the value of the dining plan. And there's a couple of little graphics that I made and stuff. And it talks about helping your client understand if the dining plan is something that would be right for them or not. Because as we know, the dining plan isn't discounted food. It's just prepaying your food, which I love to do. I love getting the dining plan because I think that making Disney as convenient as possible is the sauce to making people have a great vacation. Because if you take the convenience out of it, it becomes a little bit overwhelming or a lot of bit overwhelming. But you add those magic bands, you add the dining plans, you have transportation, you're not driving your car around. All those things put together make everything so much more convenient and smooth and easy.
I think just not nickeling and diming yourself for every meal, and especially like if you're an adult that drinks, you can quickly find the value in that dining plan because all of your meals come with a beverage. So knowing that, but there are other little ways to maximize it too. Like if you're getting a quick service at a resort, get a bottled soda and use your refillable resort mug. There's so many different ways that a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't necessarily save you money. And while that may be true, if you know how to maximize the dining plan, it does give you, like Sam said, a ton of convenience, but it actually can save you money. You just have to know how to use it and use it wisely.
Exactly.
And know and that's where you as a travel agent can really help your clients, is helping them research and see what the best use of their dining plan is going to be. Just some basic ones that I personally love, like Fantasmic Dining Package, I think is a great value because you're getting those Fantasmic tickets along with the dining package. And then like we did Candlelight Processional at Tepanetto. That meal is typically $105 a person. So being able to use a dining credit for $100 meal and it was one credit. That was what was so wild to me. Like it made it the best possible use of the dining plan. So being able to highlight how you can help your clients map that out and do the math can be super beneficial,
Yes. In my blog, I did a pretend 5-day stay and added up food costs, things like that. And I did come up with it being like $50 cheaper than paying like out of pocket.
Was that table service or quick service?
That's quick service. So it would be even more for table, I would say. But just understanding yourself, the benefits of the dining plan, it's easier to relay that convenience and the value of it to your customer. So think about doing something like that, coming up with your own little scenarios where a pretend family or maybe even a real family that you have planned and kind of their eating habits, you can show in reality how much it saved or time it saved. That kind of thing would be a really great way to market that to your clients. And this is a really long read. I wouldn't necessarily send this to my clients. This is for travel agents. But there is a way to show the same information on a smaller scale in a bite-size piece. See what I did there? So that they understand. And making graphics, I'll show you this graphic. I can do that. If I can.
While Sam's pulling up the graphic, I think this is also one of those instances when it's super important to get to know your clients, because if they're the family that is going and getting groceries for themselves delivered to their room, they're bringing their own snacks to the park, all those things, like the free dining plan sounds really flashy, but you also have to remember that it's a non-discounted room. So if they are not a big food family, it's a lot of food, honestly. It may not be the best value for them if there are other discounts available on rooms. It's just good to get to know them.
That's one thing I have to figure out a lot because I'm in Virginia Beach, so we're a big military town. And so if there's like a military salute rate, is that gonna, even with the dining plan, would that be a better offer for them? And I know Sam and I talked about this a few weeks ago, and Christy, I know you were in the group chat when we were talking about it too, but like sometimes the offers, you can start looking at things and figure out cheaper ways to do them than what Disney is necessarily recommending. So like Christy said, like always know your clients and ask specific questions. Are you going to nickel and dime your meals? If they're vegetarians, the table service, like either dining plan might not be the best option for them, because sometimes the vegetarian meals are cheaper too. So kind of keep in mind eating habits and what they're going to be doing, and what's like important to them budget wise is always important too.
Okay, this is a little example of a graph. It breaks down information about the 2 different dining plans, what's available in a very bite-size, again with the pun, I'm very sorry, look at what it is. And instead of it being like jumbled up into a paragraph of copy, having little bullet points, you get this, this, and this, is an easier way to present it to your client and having them understand. And it's also really important to have them understand because we don't want our free dining offer to look like they're just going to be having access to any food at any time of the day, like a cruise ship. Because that's not going to be great. They're not going to appreciate that when they get there and realize that, there's a certain amount of credits and that's how that goes. So really taking this time to educate your clients. Now, how do we do that? We can do it long form. We can do it short form. I love long form content because I guess I just like to yap and it works better for me long form. And making a YouTube video, a podcast, writing a blog, those are all really great ways to get this really big piece of content that you can break apart and put it in different places. So you're not reinventing a new post every single time. You're borrowing information from your long form to put as a reel, as a carousel, as a static post. So breaking it up like that.
So be like a pre-trip email that all of your clients with the dining plan get as well. And while it sounds crazy, I typically do that. I like to do that if they have the dining plan around, well, really for all clients around the 80-day mark, because if they don't have the dining plan and the email sparks something that they say, oh, well, now I want the dining plan. If they get the Disney dining plan, I want to have the ability for us to have time and margin to come up with a strategy to reserve those, those table service options that they want before we get to that 60-day mark. So, 80 days out seems like a bit of a stretch, but like that still means that they have 50 days to pay it off. But it also means we have 20 days from the time they receive that email to create a strategy for those table service meals if they change their mind at that point.
Yeah, that's a really good idea too, because you're making a piece of content, but it can be recycled into client education for everyone. So it kind of is evergreen in that way, where you're not just making it one time and then forgetting that it exists. You're putting it into your client workflow, into your education.
Yeah. And with that, like if you're, the important thing there is making sure that your long form content is up to date and accurate. I'm actually thinking about a blog post that I wrote that mentions Premier Pass only being available for deluxe resort guests and how I need to go update that soon because now it's available for all resort guests. But, making sure that your content is accurate is one of the biggest services you can do, not only for your clients, but just for really anyone who happens to come across your content that's going to Disney.
That's true. And I think this is kind of a step away from that, but my brain's taking me away. I see a lot of discourse on the internet and, there are trolls and such talking about how bad the food at Disney World is. And in my opinion, that's just not, some of it is not as great as other things, but that's just kind of life. That's the reality of the thing. But making sure that we are visually showing the foods that we love and enjoy and making sure that they look aesthetically pleasing. Like, I understand sometimes you start eating and then you're like, oh, I didn't take a picture of that. and then you go to take a picture, and it's not pretty anymore. Probably don't post it.
Or like the classic buffet situation where you're like, how do I make this, like these piles look aesthetically pleasing?
Yeah, you should have seen us at the buffet where Edge of Enchantment Travel says the food is my favorite part. Me too. And by the way, all three of us here have an allergy. And so we really enjoy Disney World for the food because it is so simple for us to eat there, which is a really great thing to put into your marketing.
Yeah. Like if you're talking to people who have food allergies, I always highlight how safe I feel eating at Disney. Safety for me, for people who know my story, is like a really big deal on all fronts, but food safety is like very important. So highlighting why you love the food at Disney World and what you love. And Sam's so good about remembering to take pictures. She had to stop me from eating every single time because I often wait until I'm like super hungry and will like gnaw my own arm off before I eat. And so I actually have it like in my notes in my planner to make sure that next time I go, I stop before every single meal and like, take a picture of it, and probably just put them all in a note and write down my notes on each and everything that I eat too.
Yep. Ugh, I had a thought and then it went away. Shocking. I know it was about food. What was it? Oh, I know. Okay. So I think 2025 is going to be the year for us to put our personalities back into our travel businesses. And in doing that, what was that face, MK? Were you looking at me?
No, there's a window right behind me, and this like very cute little dog. It's our sidewalk, and this cute little dog walked by. But at first, it didn't look like it had a person with it, which is also very common in our neighborhood. So I was like, "Where is the person?" And then the person walked by, so all was well.
Gotcha. Okay, so 2025 is going to be the year for us to put our personalities back into our travel businesses, because planning a vacation for someone is very personal. These people are bringing the people that are most important in their lives together and wanting to take them on a vacation. And they put us in charge of that. That's so personal. And so I think the corporate hands-off approach, it's not working, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion. It doesn't work because the travel industry is so very personal at its core. So we must start showing ourselves doing what we love, vacationing, eating the food. Every time I go to Trader Sam's, I have a video of me taking a bite of that Kahlua pork taco because it's the highlight of my arrival day every time, because it's personal to me. And so remembering that as we go into this new year, we're not worrying about looking silly. It don't matter. Those people are never going to see you again. If you go on my YouTube, you can see people, their little eyes following, like, who is this person? What is she doing? Some people will come up to me and say hi. Some people think that I'm famous. Some people are like, get out of my way. But it's fine. Like, none of those things are going to stop me from showing my personality, what I love to do. And being confident in that is going to be really important in this year. And it does relate to food, because we must have those bits of us enjoying the food that we're trying to sell to people. Sorry, I went on a rant there.
No, I mean, you have a great point. I made Josh videotape. So I'm on Zepbound, which is a weight loss med. I've so far lost 50 pounds, but this past flight was the first one where I didn't have to use the seatbelt extender on the flight, which I was super excited about, and got Josh to make a video. And we actually have a video where the guy is like, there's like a guy standing above me, and he's like, and it is the funniest thing because, one, I'm super excited and look like a crazy person, but like, that's relatable, because I think most people, when they're on a weight loss journey, feel like so many people look at them like that it's like, just be excited, just exist in your body and like enjoy your life. I will never see Airplane Guy ever again. And
Nope.
if I do, I'll just wave and say, hey, I'm the crazy lady from the airplane. Have a great day.
Yep.
Do you need any assistance with anything? Because I'm super helpful.
Are you planning a Disney vacation?
And if not, would you like to plan a Disney vacation?
Exactly. Just don't worry about it. Like, and I know that's like, okay, just don't worry about it. I know. It literally takes you saying, and you might not even believe it. Oh, we're getting into a confidence moment right now. Okay. You might not believe it that it's going to be fine and that nobody's going to make fun of you, but you have to tell yourself on at least a surface level, like, this is fine. This is for the betterment of my career, of what I love to do. And do you want the random people of Magic Kingdom Park to control your future and your intentions for other people? No. Take the video. Wear the pretty dress.
But I think you have, like, one reason we want to build this community is because it's much easier to do that when you have people that you can send the video to and be like, I feel really dumb because this person like looked at me this way. Like, I know we've had so many things in our group chat where it was like one of our other friends will be like, look at these haters on my social media. And we're able to be like, do you want us to come after them? Or like, we're able to laugh at it together. And so building a community where you guys are welcome to join us and we can, like, we're here to support you. So if you need that extra level of support, because let's face it, being a travel agent can be lonely at times. Like, come hang out with us. We promise we're not as scary as we may seem on the internet sometimes. Also, we're really fun. And we like to go to Magic Kingdom and have pajama parties and close down the parks. So if
That's all very true.
hang out with us.
See, when we met, I was already past the point of worrying about what people were going to think about me.
I, however, was not.
Me neither.
But look at them now.
It's been a journey.
And it's only been a year. Can you imagine how crazy they'll be another year from now?
I mean, I laughed so hard I spit hot chocolate out my nose in Magic Kingdom. So I'm not sure people want me to get any crazier.
That's true. We have a new, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, group on a platform that starts with an F. I hate when people do that. Now I'm doing it. It's called It would help if I had this pulled up before, but then I wouldn't be me, would I?
Sam, what was that loud crash at your home?
That was not me.
Oh, well, there was a loud crash.
The Happiest Things Collective, TA Bestie Community. Come join us over there. That's where we're going to hang out, like, and be able to chat easier. And where all of our announcements and events and planning things are going to go over there. So it'll be a fun time. And we weren't even planning on saying any of that, but I hope everyone has a great time marketing the dining plan.
But this is why you need community, though. It's because like one thought can spur a conversation that like you might not have anticipated. And if you're doing it in the vacuum of your home office, it just doesn't, it's not there.
It's not fun. And I tell you what, year, it's not fun. 2023 in the travel realm for me was like I was like so uninspired, basically. Like, And then I met these crazy, insane people. And I was like, okay, like they get it, they understand it, and I'm entertaining to them. So I am going to keep going. And I did, and it makes it so much easier when you have that community and we don't work for the same company. We have our own companies. It's not anything like that. It's that genuine friendship, community, ideas. We enjoy the same things. We go on vacation together and act crazy, and it's so much fun. And we would have never, I mean, I don't know. I might have left the travel industry. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like 24, which it's crazy to me that it's not 2024. I feel like 2023, I had somewhat of an idea of what I was doing, but 2024, I feel like I nailed down a lot of pieces that I don't know if I would have nailed down if I didn't have friends alongside me. But then it also just like gave me the confidence, not just to make travel agency decisions, like it's given me confidence to make, I feel like life altering is like such a big, like, ooh, but like it's given me the confidence to make choices and challenging decisions that I don't know if I would have made the same way or used the same discernment process with otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, friends.
Edge of Enchantment, we want you in our community as well. Come join us.
Yeah.
Find us in the group. If you need me to send you a message with the link, I will. But we really went away from marketing the dining plan, but I think that's okay. To recap, marketing the dining plan, less corporate, more personal, I think is the most important lesson here. Showcasing what we as travel agents enjoy about Disney dining and understanding our clients' wants and needs. And that doesn't even just go for the dining plan. That is just like the whole planning picture and adding that personality and know-how into our businesses. I think hashtag 2025 right there. But we have lots of stuff coming up, which we will post about in the group. So make sure that you join us over there so that you don't miss anything. We're really excited.
Sorry, I got an idea, so I'm squirrel.
Oh, she had to write down an idea.
Notes. I literally keep a stack of them, which if you saw my desk, it's wild. But I had a thought, so I'm apologizing for momentarily dipping out. Let me finish writing my idea down.
You're just fine. I'm gonna grab the link and so I don't forget it. I don't think I can put it in the comments. I'll have to send it in the DM after this, but I will as soon as we're done.
Yeah. Comment community and we'll send it out in a DM.
Look at that. Comment community.
It's like I wrote social media captions all the time.
All right. Well, with that, let's get our 2025 started today. I'm very excited. And we will see you guys. What is today? Wednesday. So we'll see you on Friday.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably have an announcement on Friday. So tune in.
Yay!
And we will see you then. Bye, guys.